Hello, class, and welcome to week 3. Can you believe that we are rapidly approaching midway point already? I mean, time is truly flying in this course, right? Now listen, if you're still having test out problems, please ensure that you've already contacted the SNHU help desk. And after you contact them, if you cannot get your needs met, ensure that you go on afterwards to the test out personnel. Also, make sure that you keep me in the loop. Therefore, if I have to extend you or if we have some type of circumstances that we have to work around, at least I'm already aware of what's going on. Now, there were a few things that I saw last week which costed some of you some points, and so I want to share those in the hope that we can avoid those and you guys can get as many points as possible so you all can get great grades, right? Okay, so first, when you're in the discussion board, I want you to ensure that you're interacting with at least 2 people. That's the minimum, is at least 2. However, it would be great to see all of you posting early and often throughout the week. The more postings you get that are meaningful, good interactions, that's above and beyond what's being asked. Additionally, there were some dynamic journal entries. I mean, there were some really good journal entries that were written last week, but there were also a couple that needed a little bit of help. They're going to need a little fine-tuning if we're going to keep trying to pull out these great grades, right? And when I mean that, what I'm asking is a couple of things while you're responding to whatever it is, the entry that the journal is asking you that week. First off, be personal. How does your current experiences or your past experiences play a factor into the scenario? Some of you did a great job by saying, well, because of my experience doing this, that, and the third, I believe I'm well prepared to go forward. And so that was really good that you expounded upon your own personal experiences. If you don't have the experience, that's okay too. You can write about that. It's a journal, right? We want to be personal. We want to make it about us. We just don't want the basic company slogan of whatever you're going to do to try to meet the requirement. I want it to be a little bit personal. Make it personable and make it about you because it's yours, right? Be reflective. How does the previous lesson help prepare you for what's being asked? How does the next lesson? Maybe it won't be this lesson that you've had previously, but maybe it'll be the next week lesson that you'll be able to reflect on that will help prepare you for what you're going to see during this journal and what it's asking you to do. Additionally, be detailed. Be very detailed. Don't just gloss over the question, but really take some time with it. Go over it and give a strong response. About a half of a paragraph is kind of a little light, considering that the requirements are about 2 to 3 paragraphs for these journal entries. Other than that, I think there was a great job last week. If you're having any crazy problems or anything unusual, feel free to hit me up, and we can try to work on that on the side. Email is best first to hit me up, okay? Now, let's talk about last week a little bit. Last week, we took on what was considered for many, I know from my perspective and just looking over everyone's background and looking at the majority of the class, it appeared that everyone was really, really, really good with Microsoft Word. There were maybe a couple people that were kind of unfamiliar with it, but for the most part, the majority of the class felt familiar with Microsoft Word. And it's imperative. I can't think of any other university, college, maybe even an undergraduate school, or even any career which really doesn't have a need for creating any type of Microsoft document or utilizing Microsoft Office anywhere in the company. Even if it's a factory job, I can think the manager probably still somewhere along the line needs to use Microsoft Word. So I just can't think of anywhere that does not use it, which is why it underscores the point that it is imperative, regardless of what your in-degree plans are or your career plans, that you get a good hands-on, that you're familiar with how to navigate, modify, create, and maintain a host of documentation. In my experience, I'm still getting requests from various people from anything from the church, from career, from just, hey, I got a favor, can you do this for me? To create documentations, brochures, flyers, reading literature, pamphlets, all types of different things. So sometimes I'm still getting a little challenged because it's been so long since I've done some of that stuff. But it's enjoyable, and it just shows how valued that asset and that resource is and that knowledge is. So now let's talk about this week a little bit. It's going to be a great week for many of you because I openly admit that Excel wasn't always my strongest area of expertise. Particularly, I remember I had this the statistics class. It was a mathematics statistics class, and I had to create these long, drawn-out formulas, right? And they were all being used to forecast different things for a given business. To be able to tell what the business would look like and what the potential of the business was. And it was just these crazy formulas. And so I was not too fond of that class, right? Mathematical statistics. Didn't like it that much, but nevertheless. We don't have to use Excel in that great of detail to still get some excellent value out of it, right? It could still be extremely beneficial for businesses and just for our own personal use. For example, I knew myself, I had a family reunion, and where we all kind of were going to get together, when we are going to travel, out of town, and we were going to get this vacation home and everything. And so you're talking about, anywhere from like 30 to 40 people, and all of them are paying their particular portion, and they've all got different interactions. And so how am I going to be able to keep track of which family's paid, which person's paid, how do they pay, how much is due, what was the last conversation we had? And I can tell you that Excel really fit the requirements and worked like a charm. And I hope that many of you, after going through this week, if you haven't had a need for Excel, perhaps at least you'll be familiar enough where it can make some type of impact and bring an area of ease and efficiency to somewhere where you're kind of writing things down on stickies and you're posting it here and you've got it written over here and it's just all crazy. So hopefully Excel can help you with organizing, with even just small mathematical formulations, and just keeping track of different things. So you guys have your assignments this week, and as always, if you have any questions or any concerns, you can always feel free to reach out to me, and I wish you best of luck, and I look forward to speaking with some of you in the discussion board this week. Have a good one.